Everyone, how's it going? We'll give it a few more minutes for everyone to join, and then we'll start with today's extra help session. In the meantime, while everyone's here, could you guys open up the website? I'm gonna put the link in the chat, but open up the website, and then can you navigate to TEI for reading? I think there's 3 modules that should be there, but only do the first one. Don't start yet, but let me know if you're able to see that. So again, can everyone just please log into the website, see if you're able to see the first TEI module. If you can't, then send me a message in the chat. Okay, so again, I think everyone is able to join. Can everyone please log in on the website? It's quellerprepstudent.com. I sent in the chat. Just log in to your account and let me know if you're able to see um, TEI, SHSAT TEI Reading 1. Should be named like this. So again, just everyone, we're gonna take this module. We're not gonna start now. We'll give it like for a few more minutes for everyone to join, and then we're going to start. I first want to do a review on like what the TEI questions are and how to approach them before you guys start with the module. So please do not start yet. Again, if you are not able to see it, please send me a message now. We're gonna start in like 5-10 minutes. I'll kind of just walk you guys through first how to approach TEI, and then we're going to start it. Let me share my screen right now. Okay. I'm going to share my screen now. We're going to do an intro, and then we should start. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so there's two resources that I want to emphasize. This first one, you can find it online. It's just new information about the test. Updates are here. You can read through it if your like parent wants to look through it or if you want to read it. And we are only focusing on your test 2025. So there's a link here that shows sample TEI. TEI itself is just tech enhanced items. It's a new types of questions that they're going to show on the exam. Here's a walkthrough of it. So we're going to go through it. I know you guys are very familiar with multiple choice, which you guys have all seen, right? And the fill in the blank, right? Or not the fill in the blank, the grid in questions where you like grid in for the first 5 questions of the math. We're going to be introducing these new types of questions. So let's go through each of them. Drag and drop is pretty easy. Are these numbers even or odd? There's multiple like answers. You can drag and drop them into the space like this. Fill in the blank. Then obviously like it's not going to be a word answer here. Fill in the blank. It's going to be probably some sort of like number answer. This is just the outline of how it would look like. And so for today's review, we're only going to be focusing on drag and drop, fill in the blank, and where is it? Inline choice. Those are the 3 types that will be on the reading section. Again, just to reiterate what I just said, drag and drop, fill in the blank, and inline choice like this will be on the reading section. Those are the 3 main ones that they're going to be testing. Inline choice, you're just going to have to choose an answer for each one. So there's different spaces here. You can choose multiple answers here. Someone says, will there be TEI questions for all 3 sections of the test? Yes. So reading and grammar will have these types. We don't know how many number of TEI questions there will be. I assume it's going to be 10 to 20 questions, something around that range. But that's still a lot of questions, right? We want to know how to solve these and we want good practice. So we were able to create like materials for these for the reading and math. Again, just to emphasize for everyone, if you want to like take notes on this, that might be a good idea. But just know it's drag and drop, fill in the blank, and inline choice for reading at least. Someone said, will TEI questions be experimental? Not all of them. I think like some of them will be, but some of them might count towards your score. So again, just to explain the breakdown of the SHSAT with a whiteboard. Please, no one draw anything on it. I just want to explain it very basically. Okay, well, basically, 114 questions on the SHSAT, right? 57 reading, revising, editing. So 57 revising, editing, reading. Okay, well, please no one interfere. Just look at what I'm writing. It's going to be like this, right? 57 revising, editing, reading, 57 math, and then there is going to be 10 experimental questions in each section. Experimental questions won't count towards your score, but you don't know which one is experimental. So, basic review, right? And then as for the TEI, it's assumed to be 10 to 20 TEI. No exact number. Again, there's no exact number for TEI questions. We're going to be assuming it's like 10 to 20-ish. Perhaps it might just be 10, perhaps it might be 20. Maybe you'll take the test, it's not going to be in one section, but there's so many TEI in like the other section. We're not too sure, right? Okay, well, can everyone just stop drawing on the whiteboard, please? This is just the main structure I wanted to show you guys. So, yeah. Someone said, so are these going to be used on the real test? Are there going to be more math or more reading TEI questions? We don't know which one's going to have more. Yes, they will be on the test. For sure, they will be on the test, but we don't know which one's going to be more. So I want to prepare you guys for both the reading and both the math. So I'm going to stop share here. I'm going to go back to what I shared originally. And I'm going to walk through this online practice test. This is from the DOE. This is not the one we're going to be doing today. This is from the DOE. If you guys want extra practice, you can do these. I will link both of these in the chat just for you guys to see. So the first link I sent is more information about the SHSAT. You can bookmark it. Second link is the practice test online. You can do it on your own time. We won't be doing this today, but this is something you'll do on your own time. Someone said, are TEI questions a new type of question on the test? What section are they for? Again, TEIs can appear on any section. It can appear on revising, editing, reading, or math. They are a new type of question. So we are used to multiple choice and grid-in questions. They're just going to be a new type of format. Someone said, if you get a part of a TEI, right? TEI, right? Do you get partial credit for everything wrong for the question? This is something that we do not know yet. This is not information released by the DOE. We do not know if you get partial credit or you get everything wrong. I think for our testing purposes, we're going to be marking everything wrong. But yeah. Are the results available for these practice tests? Yes, they should be once you complete them. Will there still be grid and math questions? Yeah, I believe so. I'm going to go through this practice test. If you scroll down, click this. You can choose whatever form. Most of you grade 8, so I'm just going to go through a few TI questions. We're not going to be doing this test again. Just want to remind everyone of that. So, okay. So I'm just going to skip through until I see TI. Here, this is an example of a TI question. I want everyone to pay attention. So, example passage, normal passage here. But it says right here, in which two ways does something happen? You select two answers. You can't select more than two, right? Permitted a maximum of 2 answer choices for this. Okay, this is like a checkbox type of question. So this is one type of question that'll be on the reading. Someone said, for the drag and drop, do we only have to drop one in each section, or does every option have to be dropped somewhere? I will go into that in a second. So there might be a case where you have to drag in everything, or there might be a case where you only have to drag in one. This will be specified by the question. Let's continue going through, and I'll explain. So for example, right here, they're only asking you for one quotation for each box. If there's 5, we can't put more than one in one box. You see? I'm just not able to drag in. So we have 5 of these. Only one of these will go in one. So you just have to choose like this. And this would be the correct rating answer, just putting 2 of these here. So again, these are drag and drop. It's usually like 5 different answer choices here. You have to drag one into one and then one into the other. So something like drag it here and then drag one to the other one. Does that make sense to everyone? I'm just looking through. Okay, someone said, I think you were able to move each one. Yeah, so you can move each one of these here. Someone said, can you get partial credit for these? Again, we don't know whether or not you will be awarded partial credit for one of these types of questions. For now, the assumption is you either get a question right or you get a question wrong. That's how the SHSAT has been, and we're going to be continue operating like this. Okay, so yeah, will we have to bubble in our answers for the paper too? The test is completely digital now, so there won't be any like bubbling in. It's just going to be a digital format. You're going to be going to a site where you will take the test digitally, like on a laptop, like I am right now. Okay, someone said it. Someone's talking about the exhibits. I don't even know what this is. Let me see. No, this won't be on the actual test. This is just for the explanation. Someone said, I think you can move more than one when I did it. I'm pretty sure you can, but it does depend on what the question asks you. So here, this question is only asking you for one quotation that supports one theme and one quotation that supports another theme. So again, it depends on the case by case. For the practice tests that we are going to be doing today, you would only have to move in one answer to one checkbox and one answer to the other one. Someone said we won't be dragging every quotations. I'm a bit confused because the question says quotations plural. I mean, I understand it says quotations plural, but it's saying quotations plural because there's 5 quotations and they just want to choose one that supports the theme. You can also test it out. You're just not able to like, oh, you are. Interesting. For our purposes, for the test, then wait, let me go back and forth. Let me just make sure this is okay. So interesting. For our purposes, so the test that we're going to be doing today, um, there should be no like drag. You should only drag one answer twist into one box, one answer twist into the other one. Yeah, someone said for some of them you can only move more than one, but for most you can only move one. So it does depend. Are there always only 2 boxes? Yes, it should only be 2 boxes. There won't be like 3 boxes that you drag into it. So again, the question should specify. So yeah, I think you guys are right. So for this question, this is move each answer to the correct box. So you would have to move each answer to the box. And that's how exhibits, like if you were to look at the answer key, that's what it says as well. So I'm mistaken for this one, but I think for the practice test that we are going to be doing today, it will not say move each answer to each box. It'll just say you need to move one into one box and one into the other box. Hopefully this makes sense. I don't want to make this confusing, but again, it just depends on this question. So whatever you guys said, you were right. It says quotations, so you have to move all of these into either one box or the other box. Good. And then I'm just trying to find the third one. Here's another example. See, this says one sentence. I think it's, yeah. So this one, you can only drag one in one box and one in the other. You can't drag more than one in. It's just not possible. Okay. So that's basically it for the reading. Does anyone have any other questions? This is another type of question. What's her primary mood at key points in the passage? There's 3 boxes here. Drag one mood into one into the other, one into the other, depending on how she felt. Right? I don't see any others. Okay. Here, this is another one. This is very similar to multiple choice. If you guys look here, like you would just have to move one into the box. You can't move multiple, right? Only one of them would fit here. So you just have to choose the correct transition word. Someone said, so it depends on the question if we drag multiple options or just one. Yes, it depends on the question. If they want you to put everything, it would say move each answer to each box. If it doesn't say that, then you wouldn't have to move. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's basically it. For rising editing, here's another example of a TEI. Contains an error in construction. There's only one answer in right here. It says there's only one error in construction. What is the point of this type of it is just only one answer? It is for experiment. Yeah, I have no clue. Like I actually have no clue why they did this. I'm being so for real. I have no clue. But it's just a new question. Like it's just a new type of question that we kind of have to adapt to. That's about as much as I can say. I also think it's a bit interesting how they're going about by this. But again, we just have to adapt to it, and we have to make sure we know how to answer these types of questions. So yeah, does anyone have any other questions before we start? I want everyone to start the what is it called? SHSAT Reading TEI 1. So I'm gonna put the name in there again. You guys can feel free to start. It's going to be timed 90 minutes. There's like 47 questions in there for TEI. So I want you guys to practice. And as you practice, if there's any like questions that you have or any like issues that you run into, please let me know. Um, yeah, you guys can start the test and let me know if you run into any issues. Someone's saying how to start the test. Navigate to our Kweller Prep website. This is the instructions I gave you guys originally. I'm gonna put should take about 90 minutes. Oh, some people say they have 180 minutes, but take like 90 minutes to do it because it's just reading practice. So we don't want to go more than 90. Um, yeah, so for everyone who's here that didn't start the test, start the test. Let me know if you run into any issues, and I will help you. And you guys can keep asking me questions in the chat. I'll get to it. Um, okay, so again, just a reminder, I want everyone to start. Um, Let me know if you run into any issues, and we're gonna review towards the end of the session. This is just kind of like an experimental like take into how the TEI questions will look like on the test. So again, good luck for everyone. Um, please message me if you run into any issues. I do want to make sure that everyone understands how these questions will be on the test. And yeah, I'll try my best to answer your questions. Okay, so I think one error in question 5, sentence 8, there's a comma after around them in the passage. Imagine that the passage doesn't have this comma. The question asks you to like revise it. So yeah, okay. Want to make sure everyone's able to log on, everyone's able to take the test. If you are not able to take the test, if you don't see any answer choices, please let me know, and we can try to fix this right now. Okay, again, one thing I do want to mention, I'm just looking through the test right now. For the drag and drop questions, despite what the question says, please only drop one answer into the one box. You might come across a question where multiple answers make sense for a box. I'm just like looking through and I'm just like seeing this as I'm like taking the test as well. So again, please just drop one into one. This is just for experimental sake. We just want to see if you're able to answer the question. You might get it wrong even after you submit everything and you look back at your answers, just because we haven't fixed that up on our end. So again, for the drag and drop questions, please, if you see like two answers make sense for one box, just pick the answer that makes the best sense and move on. We just want to make sure you guys are able to answer the TI questions and you understand how they work. Okay, hopefully that made sense for everyone. Yes, do you have a question, brother? Okay, there's one error for question 23. I know some of you guys see like it says box 3. Should just be communication control technology, so make sure that yeah, I just fixed it right now, so it might appear on updated tests, but yeah, just make sure you know that. Again, I sent instructions for anyone who just joined, and if you don't know what to do, we're just all taking the SHSAT Reading TEI #1 test on our website. If you're not able to log in, if nothing works, if you guys experience any issues, please let me know. This is just kind of like an experimental phase. I want to make sure that everyone's able to answer the TEI questions, make sure that everything like makes sense as you go along. Yeah, and as a reminder, if you're done, you can feel free to practice with more of the reading or do the math. But for the math, do not do the first module. You can do number 2, number 3, just don't do number 1. We're gonna do that one tomorrow. And that one should be like easier for us to like go through and answer. Okay, so again, do not do number 1. We'll do number 1 tomorrow. If you want additional practice, you can do number 2, number 3 of either the reading or the math. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I know your test is going to be in like 2 weeks, so just let me know if you have any questions in preparation for this. Okay, so I know you guys are starting to finish up the reading. Um, yeah, I think you guys can only see the first reading test, so yeah, that's good. Just a reminder, we're gonna do math tomorrow. Math will be more interactive since I think all the questions are pretty much set there, so we can probably just walk through an entire math like set together. Um, but yeah, does anyone have any questions about the TEI format? I know that um there's some issues regarding the actual answers to the questions, but yeah. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this. This was more of just like an experimental thing. Um, Aim to submit the reading in like 10 minutes if you didn't complete yet. But yeah. Yeah, Lucas, do you have a question?
Yeah, for the actual test, like kind of what is going to be different about like the computers, the devices we're going to be using for the test? Like kind of like what's the environment going to be like and the conditions?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like so I think I like walked through the if I could just share my screen again, I'll show you. Uh, Basically this test here, like this website, take this practice test, and it's going to be like a lockdown browser, so you can't like search up anything, obviously. They're recording your monitors as well, so I wouldn't try. I mean, like, I know that you didn't ask that, but I'm just saying, like, for any student, like, that just wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, right? It's kind of just like a lockdown browser. This is actually how your test is going to look like. This whole, like, formatted everything here. Click here, you click start. There's going to be like a timer thing somewhere here, but other than that, it should be the exact same. They won't have this question, I mean, this part obviously, because this is like the giving away the answers, but as for everything else, this is the same. So yeah, does that like make sense? Do you have any other questions or it's kind of like the, you know, um, yeah, someone said about partial credit. Don't think of partial credit in this case. I don't know if the DOE actually explained how they're creating the exams, but as far as the SHSAT goes, you either get a question right or wrong. So even if you get like part of a question right, they only consider it fully right if you get all parts of the question right, just to answer someone's question. Someone says, will the TEI questions be the same level of difficulty on the actual test? Passages, the readings will be the same. Questions, I think for this TI set, it was a bit easy. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I was just like looking through. So expect something that'll be a bit harder difficulty. Um, yeah, the set that you guys just did right now, it should match around what the actual SHSAT will give you. Yeah, and then if you guys have answers with like if you have um complaints about like the answers not showing up, maybe questions glitched, please let me know. Again, our test platform is not like 100% accurate. I just wanted to give you guys a good look at how the reading questions will be. And if you're submitting and you see that you got a lot of questions wrong, it's definitely because like um it might be due to like the type of question error, like especially for the drop down questions, like I said, there's probably multiple answers that fit into a box that you might have just gotten wrong. So yeah, if anyone's seen that they submitted the test and they got like a 60% or like lower, again, don't worry about it. Um, we're going to fix this on our end and then we'll let you know. Um, Yeah, it's just because of that drag and drop. There's probably like multiple answers that fit into one box, but you could only put one. So that might have messed up a lot of you guys. So again, don't worry about this. Just treat this session as if like we're doing like a practice TEIs. Make sure you understand how the format will be for these questions. And you'll see like it's very similar to the questions that are in multiple choice. It's just different type of like way of answering, but it's going to be the same types of questions as in multiple choice. So yeah, I just want everyone to be confident in like their answers. Yeah, does anyone have any other questions? Like I heard from someone told me that you submit your schools or like your list of schools yesterday. The deadline was yesterday. Is that correct for anyone who can answer or like knows? Yeah, see a bunch of people were saying yes. Okay. It's a bit interesting because when I took the test a long time ago, um we when I took the test a long time ago, before we actually answered like the questions for the test, we would have to rank the schools like in like the testing room. So that's just a bit interesting thing. Yeah, does anyone have any questions about like specialized high schools? I know you guys are preparing. It's like less than 2 weeks. Does anyone have any like specific questions about the schools, like the school environment, like how it was? Like personally, like when I took the SHSAT, I got a 625. And I went to Stuyvesant High School, graduated a few years ago. Um, so yeah, I'd also be happy to like answer any questions about the school that I went to and like specialized high schools as a whole. Like a lot of my friends went to like all the different specialized high schools. Someone said, "Is it true that it's better to do better in subject than decent in both?" Yeah. This is what like I hear from like also like strategically that makes sense because of the way that the SHST is graded. It's better that you do really good in one subject than do decent in both. Like when I took the test, I was really good at math. Pretty sure I like either aced it or like maybe got like one or two questions wrong, but was very confident in the math. I knew I did it like pretty well. Um, yeah, reading not so much, but yeah, I mean I got a 625, so I think I did good in both subjects to be honest. But like ideally, you want to make sure you do as well as you can for both sections of the test. But if you know you have an area of expertise, like let's say you're good at math, then focus on knowing everything about the math and making sure you can like ace it. Yeah, someone said, "Where'd you go to school?" I attended Stuyvesant. How's the environment like at Stuyvesant? I mean, like people will tell you different things. Like I think I liked it. It was very competitive. Definitely something you have to like think about, but I mean, I liked it. Like I made good friends. People from my middle school also went to Stuyvesant, so that helped. But like, if you're looking to like, I don't know, it's very good education. The classes are amazing. Like you'll learn a lot, and the teachers are also amazing. So I liked it. Um, was there a lot of was there a lot of geometry when you took the test, and where do you go to college now? Geometry, yeah, there's a bit. You just need to know angles, shapes. Those are like the main things. Angle shapes, parallel and perpendicular lines, understanding them, and like circles. That's like as much as geometry as they would ask. And I go to Brown University now. Um, it's in like yeah, Rhode Island. And do I have tests at least twice a week in STI? I mean, like sometimes, like the testing schedule gets pretty intense, I would say. Yeah, you definitely like will get a lot of tests, but I mean, like me personally, like I think I didn't take classes I didn't like. Like I didn't like take AP chemistry. I didn't take, I didn't even take AP biology. I mainly like focused on like STEM, like other STEM classes. Like I took CS. I took like CS electives. I took AP computer science. Um, but yeah, I had flexibility in what I can choose. Is Epson as hard as everyone says it is? Like I guess so. I guess it is pretty hard. Um, like it's definitely like the most rigorous specialized high school out of the like eight or nine you can choose. But I think um you can really choose what classes you can go into. So if you want to make it harder for yourself, you can make it harder for yourself. I choose to like take classes that I'm interested in, so I think like I just liked it way better. What sports? No, I didn't play any sports, but how much homework did you typically get as Savison? Like I guess it would be a lot, but I would do maybe like I'd say like 2, 3 hours of homework a day. I know it sounds like a lot, but I would do this homework like while I would go to school on the train or when I was like what else like during my free periods at Stuyvesant during my lunch periods I would do homework while I'm hanging out with my friends, so it wouldn't be a big deal. Um, are there 10 to 20 TI questions per section or across the whole test? I think like across the whole test it should be 10 to 20. Okay, I know like so many people are asking. I'll try to get to all of these. Did I have a lot of choice in your schedule of classes? Yes, I did. There's one good thing about Stuyvesant. You can choose. I mean, like I know like people like to complain like they can't get the classes that they want, but Stuyvesant's like one of the only high schools in like the US where you can choose what classes you want to take. If you want to take an advanced placement class, you can. If you don't want to take a CS class, you want to take something else, you can also do that. There's no like pressure. Did you get a lot of homework? Like, yeah, I think I did, but honestly, like I didn't like I was never like too stressed when I did it. And I'm not saying like I don't think you have to be a certain level of like intelligence or smart, but like I just manage my time very well. For reading, what is the most common skill that you should know for the test? Analyzing passages, knowing how to read quickly and get text from the passage. That's the main thing. What languages does Sty offer? It's a bunch. Spanish, French, yeah, Spanish, French, German, Latin, Mandarin, and Japanese. I think those are the main six. How many practice tests should I take before the test? I can't even give you a set amount, but I would keep taking practice tests. If you were free, I would take as many as you can. Someone said, "Do you have a ground-based aviation school at Sty?" I don't think so. I'm not too sure about that. How many hours of homework did you do on average? Like I say, like 2 to 3 hours of homework a day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But again, like I wouldn't treat it as like you have to only do homework during this time. I do homework with friends. I do homework on the train. I do homework like while I'm in school in lunch period. So right now at my school, I get like 3 tests a week. Is Sty similar to this or less more? I mean, Sty is very similar. Sometimes there would be weeks I'd have 4 tests. So my sister told me you might not really learn at Sty because the teachers expect you to know a lot already. Is this true? I mean, like certain teachers are kind of like very like hard on you. So I mean, yeah, I think like there might be some classes you take where you might feel like you don't really learn. That's why I really encourage you, like there's obviously going to be some classes you have to take. Like let's say you don't like science, you're going to have to take science for like 2 years, 3 years at STI. You have to take physics, you have to take chemistry, you have to take biology. I know like there's some classes that you are going to not like that you have to take, but I think like as long as you can enjoy the other classes, as long as there's something in school that you can enjoy, I think this like drove me a lot. Did I have to stay up late before because of homework? I actually didn't. I know a lot of people talk about staying up past 12. I never stayed up past 12 until like my senior year. No, I would always sleep at like 11 p.m. That's not true. What am I doing at Brown? Studying math and computer science. Um, what classes are mandatory? I mean, this is like it would take me a long time to explain this. This is something maybe you could search up. I don't know if it's online, but where did you commute from, or how long was the commute? I live in Queens, so the commute was like an hour 30 minutes for me. I had to take like a bus, and then transfer to the train, and then transfer to like another train. So yeah, so it was a pretty long commute. You have tests at least twice a week at STY. What languages did you learn? What's the testing frequency? So testing frequency, like in a given class, you'll have like 5 to 6 tests in a semester. So like math, social studies, like reading, you would have like 5 to 6 tests. So some weeks you might have like a lot, some weeks you might not. And I personally I took Spanish, but I didn't. I took Spanish for 3 years at STY. what are the necessary classes? I can go into like the actual courses that I took and like the schedule maybe in like another session. It would take me a long time to explain it. That's just like the best way I can put it. It would just take a long time for me to like explain out. But electives, there's a lot of electives that's die, like a lot. Again, like it's a very privileged school. We have like a lot of options for like what we can take. So, does passing regents let you not take a certain course? I don't think so. I think you mean does not passing regents let you not take a certain course? That's not true. I don't think you even need regents to get into STI or like take classes. What languages did I learn? I took Spanish. Is the Spanish teacher good? Like I guess, kind of like I don't know. I didn't really learn too much from Spanish compared to my other classes. Um, I know it's seven, so if you guys want, you can feel free to leave. I'm just like answering everyone before. So, do I remember my score for that SHSAT? Yes, I got a 625. Um, did I take chemistry? Was it fun? I actually did take chemistry. I did not enjoy chemistry at all, but that's just me. I'm not really like a science type of person. I'm more into like math and computer science. So, um, if I'm in biology, would I go to AP biology or chemistry? Okay, I can explain like the breakdown for this later and like maybe like tomorrow session, like towards the end, but it would take me like I think it would take me a while to explain like all these all of like how the classes work. Um, yeah, I'll just end off with what did you learn from Stuyvesant? I learned how to manage my time. I learned how to make friends. As for like the actual education, like some of the stuff I learned in math and in my CS classes I use today. So those are the main things. I'm like, was it hard to keep good grades? I think so. I think my freshman year I really struggled. Like my GPA was like pretty low, but like the rest of my years I was doing really good. So I think it's like you just adjust to the school and then you get better at it. Do you learn or can you learn another language in the yes, you can. I'll talk more about that specifically later. And what's the phone policy? I heard like apparently like in schools, the new phone policy is like you can't have phones out in the whole day. So um yeah, that's interesting. What have you learned from others about what have you learned from others about the other special high school? Okay, I know this is running a bit late. I still see all your questions. I'm gonna answer them tomorrow. So just hold on to it. I know everyone has a lot of questions and I have like a lot to share with you guys. Just want to make sure you guys are good for the test. So yeah. We'll end here. I still see all your questions. It's gonna save in the chat. I'll just go through it tomorrow, okay? But yeah. Okay, everyone, I hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow again. It's 5 to 7 p.m. I'll answer your questions again, and then we'll just start with the math TI review, okay? Yeah. Everyone have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.